Welcome to episode 35 of the Reboot franchise, but what you'll notice here is we've got a game to play against the Giants. Now, I started off talking about this and suddenly realised, wait a second, I distinctly remember not only looking at the Giants team, but then I also remember playing them, and I have no idea how this has happened. I do not know why this game has been ignored. This is a Cloud League, so, you know, there's no forgetting to save, and obviously I was back in the menu at the end of the game where we'd completed it. So I have absolutely no clue why that is the case. So what we're going to do is we're going to force win on this game, of course. We're going to turn off injuries so we don't lose any players, and we're going to have to sim it. So forced away win. Before I can advance, I need to use 300 points to scout some players, and let's do that. So last time we finished off looking at the right tackles, and there's no one here that we could actually draft. Let's go a couple of rounds deeper because we need someone. The best, they need at least a B in pass or run block and then a C in the other one. And we're not finding anybody that really fulfills that criteria. Even on the first one, there's a few guys who may do it. There's B minus, again, not good enough. There was one, well, there were a couple of Bs here that potentially, theoretically could be, but it's very unlikely. And again, there, no. So absolutely no right tackles. We need tackles. I said it before, I'll say it again. I think we need to go into free agency for these, but next position up are the middle linebackers. Now, we, of course, don't need a middle linebacker, and it doesn't look like a great year for a middle linebacker, but Rashad Bass would make a very good outside linebacker. I think I've said that before as well, so obviously another linebacker just frees him up to move to that position. So we'll take a look here. So if I've done this right, we should have a 9-1 record when we advance the week. So there we go, 9-1, the record we should have, and we'll be facing a division rival, Bengals. They have to come visit us. We know the biggest thing with the Bengals, the wide receivers. We know about them. We struggle a little bit because they're just so fast. Well, one of them's so fast. AJ Green is so good. So let's take a look at the team. So the Bengals quarterback is still Andy Dalton. Running back Joe Mixon still the starter there. Giovanni Bernard. Every time we play them, I feel like he is injured. And we're lucky because he's very, very good. The fullback, Ryan Hewitt. So still looking pretty similar right now. AJ Green, John Ross with that 98 speed. Braxton Miller with the 91, Robbie Anderson with the 94. It's not very easy here. AJ Green's the only one he's not even slow, he's got 90 speed, but he's the only one that's not ridiculously fast. Okay, Braxton Miller's also only 90, but my point, 91, but my point is AJ Green, of course, is ridiculously good regardless and still has high speed. Tyler Eifert, the 99 overall tight end, but we happen to have a tight end killer. Our man Rashad Peters can take care of pretty much anyone. He shut down Gronk. He shut down Travis Kelce. Tyler Eifert can very welcomely come onto his list. Does that make sense? I'm not sure. Kamari Agnew, the left tackle, second-year player, 84 overall. The left guard, Reggie Austin, 92 overall, a third-year player. Russell Bodine, the center, at a 92 overall. Brandon Brooks, the right guard, at an 86 overall. The right tackle, Howard Stubblefield, 94 overall. This might be the best offensive line we've seen. That's three 90-rated players, 2 high 80s or mid 80s. That's ridiculous. Carlos Dunlap, the left end. Jordan Willis, the right end. Both of those high overalls. Ryan Glasgow, 77 overall. Not too bad if they're playing a 4-3. Jamie Meda is the other guy. The left outside linebacker, Devondre Campbell at an 84 overall, but, you know, he's pretty fast. Manti Te'o, the inside linebacker, 79 overall. And Leroy Reynolds, 76 overall if they're playing a 3-4. Manti Te'o, not fast at all, 76 speed. Maybe something we can look at. Maybe something we can take advantage of in the middle of that field. Vontaze Burfict, the right outside linebacker, 93 overall, 99 awareness. Look out for anyone with 99 awareness. The cornerback's returning player, Tavon Young, and at this point just a divisional rival anyway. The William Jackson III apparently, he doesn't even come from Ohio State. Gordon Shazier out of Oklahoma, third-year player, 75 overall, so it's a bit of a drop there for these two, but speed is also always important, and they've got it, and they're not too bad in their coverages. The free safety, Andrew Adams, 81 overall. And taking a look at the strong safety, Sean Williams still there, 81 overall. So a very strong team in all honesty, but they're also only 5-5, and we have an incredibly good team, and it's only getting better and better. We still apparently have a badly ranked offense, but I don't see that. I don't see how that's the case. I mean, obviously, because average will still be bad, but obviously, because on average it'll still be bad, but recent weeks we've been absolutely, you know, slinging it so many yards, mostly down to the fact that George Conner just literally cannot be stopped. I think the last time we struggled to really get everyone going was against the Steelers when we did lose. And of course, this is a divisional game, so we have to be careful. But Rashad Peters, I'm looking forward to him having another opportunity to shut down another top-tier tight end. He just does it. I don't understand how, because he's not that tall. It's not like he's built body-wise to do it, but he's just so much better than all of them. He started with Rob Gronkowski. He did Travis Kelce. It'll be fun to see the battle between those two. And let's get into this game. So let's, for the first time this season, take a look at the playoff picture. And we are sat at the top with 9 wins. Everyone else has 6. So it's not really that close as we go into this game against the Bengals. We just lost one to the Steelers, or recently lost one to the Steelers. We don't want to lose our next division game. John Ross with a kickoff start here. And Rashad Peters, that's not a man you want to meet running at full speed. But he comes down and makes the tackle. 3rd and inches. They try to go with John Ross on an end around. Rashad Peters makes the tackle. Apparently it was a face mask. That's the first one he's ever committed all season long, all his career long, as a matter of fact. But they get the extra penalty yards. It keeps the drive alive. And now with Joe Mixon making people miss. But then he loses the ball on a tackle by Gilbert Turner. Who else at this point, apart from Rashad Peters, was going to make a play? Gilbert Turner is the next guy you'd guess. And we get the ball, of course. Now we're driving. 1st and 10, 43-yard line. A completion there to Juju Smith-Schuster. We've got to start trying to use him a little bit more. 1st and 10, dropping back to pass again. Over the middle, a completion to George Conner, who makes one man miss. George Conner now using his speed to go around the outside. And George Conner is into the end zone for a touchdown. What a great play. George Conner can literally score anyway. You hand it off to him, you can give it to him and make him make people miss. You can just run past people. 2nd and 4 now. Andy Dalton is sacked by Tyus Bowser. A real nice sack there to come flying around. I think it was Tyus Bowser. Anyway, 3rd and 8. Andy Dalton with the short completion there to Joe Mixon, who's just stopped before he gets the 1st down. And now 3rd and 6 for us. And we're trying to find something here, but Tariq Cohen can make one man miss, but not really do much more. 1st and 10, handoff for the Bengals. Joe Mixon has been running well so far today, and Kevon Hardwick only just manages to finally bring him down there. 2nd and 11. They obviously got a field goal there. TJ Gibbs with the reception. 3rd and 4. It's a screenplay. It sets up pretty well. Tariq Cohen has got some blocks in front of him, weaves around, does get tackled in the end after tripping over someone. And 2nd and 8. Philip Van Dijk making himself some space, completes to TJ Gibbs, who cannot take it all the way, stopped at the 3-yard line, and then a quick slant with Connor. What else do you expect when we're in the red zone? It's like, you know, when you play Madden when you're a child and all you have to do is play quick slants. That's what real life is like with George Connor, real life. 1st and 10 now for the Bengals, and it's a completion to Tyler Eifert, and he finally gets brought down. 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Andy Dalton back to pass, rolling around. The flag goes up, but then it's intercepted. It's picked off. Gilbert Turner with the interception brings it back. The flag was for holding. The play stands. We get it. 14-3 lead, and the ball back here. George Conner with another 1st down. Wriggling out of a tackle there. 2nd and 8. It's not a completion at all, unless we were aiming for Manti Te'o. Kurt Weeks was double covered, and we tried to force it into him for whatever stupid reason. And a quick pass out there to Joe Mixon. Rashad Peters was on the wrong side of the field, could never get over, and then they go for the 2-point conversion. They get that too, so now the score 14-11, a 3-point game here. And a deep pass there for Kurt Weeks. He touches it, it knocks in the air, and it's intercepted. That's not Van Dijk's fault. It's not even really Kurt Weeks' fault. It's just bad luck. Sean Williams with the interception. And on 1st and 10, Andy Dalton is sacked. We come in with the pressure, and we get him, and we come in with the pressure again, and we get him again. Hunter Washington on that one. On 4th and 26, they got to punt it away. Look out for Ashley Stokes. He is a weapon. We know that. So you can expect to see some of these plays more often. And now Ashley Stokes running around the outside has got an opportunity here. Only one man to beat. Gets around him. And it looks like he will go, because now he's off to the races. We know the drill here. Once he's in a straight line speed looking for the end zone, no one's going to catch him, no matter how fast they are, because he's going to be that little bit faster. 1st and 10. And it's a big run by Joe Mixon. A bunch of guys missed him. Rashad Peters only just makes the tackle. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Andy Dalton, wide open receiver. For some reason, Casey Jacobs, I was going to say for some reason, Casey Jacobs just couldn't keep up with John Ross's speed across the field. Casey Jacobs usually better than that, though, because he can just beat him with his coverage rather than with his speed, but he got one there. 3rd and 9, 47-yard line. Van Dijk rolling out to the right, looks to throw it to the running back, but he came inside. Why did you go in? Never go inside, never make your quarterback throw across his body. They get the interception, they get a pick 6. The score now 25-21, Bengals leading. Going across the middle again to TJ Gibbs. 2nd and 4, play action, but no biting from the Bengals defense there, and it's a sack. 3rd and 15 now for Van Dijk, so it's going to be a bit of a tougher one to convert, and he just misses Connor there somehow. They've worked so well together this season, and they couldn't connect on that one. Joe Mixon with another big run on 2nd and 15, but we get a 3rd and 15 here at the 34-yard line. Andy Dalton starts running around, then dumps it down to Tyler Eifert, who's just stopped there by Tim Williams. 3rd and 9. 21-25 to score, 4 minutes left in this game. A completed pass there to George Connor. We've got to move this ball, but 3rd and 10 again is a difficult down to convert, and they sack us. We can't do it. The pressure from the Bengals is too much at the moment. 4-point game, 2 minutes left in this game. Andy Dalton gets stuck behind his player and then gets brought down by Tim Williams. 1st and 10, still the same scoreline, but only 10 seconds left in this game. And a bobbled pass here, thrown around a bunch of times until it's finally picked off. The Bengals pick it off right at the end of the game. That is absolutely heartbreaking because TJ Gibbs had his hands on it. He's played so well, but they end up taking this and winning the game.
That is not actually a game I expected to lose, and we slip up, and it comes at the hand of interceptions. Now, a mixed bag of interceptions. The final one, the killer, although we did not have a lot of time, but that one just absolutely terrible. Look, another one like that as well. That bounced out of the hand, so 2 of those. One, I would absolutely say was, you know, we should know better. We know that those guys like to cut back inside when they're outside, when that's absolutely, ask any coach that's ever told anyone what to do in any situation. It's not come back inside and make your quarterback throw across his body. But, you know, that is what it is. We should know better. So, really, Philip Vendiac threw one interception that was thrown into tight coverage at Kurt Weeks. That was a bad idea. The other 3... really, you can blame other people for them. Let's just do that. Let's blame his teammates. Philip Vendiac, you were actually good. And he was actually good. 60% completion percentage. 2 touchdowns, 171 yards. But we just couldn't get it done today. We couldn't get it done on the ground. 3.9 yards per carry is probably a season low for Trayvon Bromley. Receiving, George Connor, again, he always tries his best. And he had an incredible play where he made one man miss and then just took it to the house. 6 receptions, 81 yards, 2 touchdowns. TJ Gibbs saw a little bit from him. We missed him wide open on one play. We couldn't get it out to him, which was a shame. And then defensively, my goodness, Rashad Peters wants to be Defensive Player of the Year. Someone please pay attention to him. 12 tackles, 8 of them solo. That is ridiculous. 2 tackles for loss and a sack. Gilbert Turner, who I consistently, I believe, call Gabriel Turner. And I say I believe that because I just did it before I then said it correctly. Gilbert Turner, 10 tackles, an interception as well. He wants Defensive Rookie of the Year. Our defenders really all just fighting for it right now. 1 turnover there from Gilbert Turner, which of course was recovered. Apparently we recovered 2 fumbles, not sure how that works. And then of course, Ashley Stokes with a punt return touchdown as well, but we should have scored more than 3 touchdowns. We deserved to lose this game, that's for sure, but we also shouldn't have lost that game. So 1 player has regressed. That could be 4 interceptions from Philip Vendiac. Let's take a look at what it is as we wait for this to load. That's taken a little bit longer than I expected. It is the 4 interceptions. That's a shame. Hopefully it doesn't knock his overall down just for aesthetic purposes, but it also doesn't matter because awareness, of course, is irrelevant for the quarterback, and he's fine anyway, and a bunch of XP gains for everyone. 10,000 is nice, but we're still, really, with Trayvon Bromley, all we can do outside of, you know, upping up some moves and stuff is move up his speed at this point. So 200 XP to use on, well, the middle linebackers we've got to finish, I believe. So we finished the middle linebackers, and we're taking a look at the running backs because, you know, if we can get an all-around guy that does what all 3 of our current running backs do, of course we will take him. What we are looking for is B+ carrying or better and B ball carrier vision. And then, of course, a good 40-yard dash as well, which has to be under 4.62. The problem here is, in terms of how many points we have to spend, is the fact that a lot of guys have special moves that are above A, and it makes it a little harder to be able to cut everyone out, but also plenty of people we can cut out very quickly here. But the most deceiving thing is the power back position. This Bryant Bell with A- juke move might actually be very good. The power backs always have good stiff arms and stuff like that, so they're the ones where you have to kind of waste points on because they probably end up being pretty bad after that. But that is it. 5 points I'll have to try and find somewhere, but then we'll move on to our next game against the Texans. So here we go, and Bernard Cooper's been cleared. I thought he was out for a lot longer. I seem to remember him being out for a lot longer than this, but what goes down? His speed goes to 73, which is still very good for a right end. Acceleration down as well. So he gets average, like high average, decent average speeds for a 3-4 defensive end. 91 to 77. I think we're going to make him play through the injury because I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be out quite a lot longer. Let's bring him back. It says a week early, but there's no way. He was supposed to be out for 7 weeks or so. I remember that. But here we go. Time to play the Texans, the 2-8-1 Texans. That makes me wonder what their team will look like, in all honesty. Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson, which of course means we'll have someone who'll be looking to move around, which is never fun to deal with. The running back Lamar Miller and Dante Foreman we see down there. Jay Prosh, the fullback.
Wide receiver, DeAndre Hopkins, Jalen Strong, Valeria Foster out of Louisville, second-year player and 74 overall. It goes down there quite a bit, but right now looking very similar. CJ Fedorowicz still the tight end, 91 overall. So it's a very similar looking team. Jason Newhouse, second-year player, 89 overall. That's not bad. BJ Finney, 82 overall. Center Greg Manch, 86 overall. Craig Everett, third-year right guard, 87 overall. And then Raphael Culbreth, a rookie with an 81 overall. Why can we never find those guys? JJ Watt, the left end, 99 overall. We've already taken a look at this team, I feel like, recently, because I do believe they switched to a 4-3. Jadeveon Clowney, 97 overall. Defensive tackles, Timmy Jernigan, David Onyemata. I do remember was playing these, absolutely, because, of course, David Onyemata is a returning Fire Sale franchise player. Left outside linebacker, Cal Bradford, 82 overall. The middle linebacker, Benadryl McKinney, with a 94 overall, the 96 awareness. And then Ishmael Holloway, 81 overall. Kevin Johnson, the cornerback at number 1, 85 overall. PJ Williams, 82 overall. And then Nick Ruffin, the 77 overall. Kevin Johnson, only 88 speed. They're not too slow, but put him up, if he's up against George Connor, you can say goodbye. That's a difference of 6 and he will be gone. Dex Clayton, the free safety, 78 overall. Not that great, but also not too bad. The strong safety, Jaquiski Tart, 78 overall as well. So, obviously great front 7. A little bit weaker at the back end, but also not bad whatsoever and a good offense. It'll be a tough game. Don't know why they're 2-8-1.
Here we go. The Texans are always a tough opponent because of that vicious front 7. And now that they play a 4-3, I feel like it's even a little more dangerous. But of course, we play against the offense first. And they start with a run, as most teams always tend to do. And there we see a big broken play. Kewan Hardwick attempted to make a play on the ball, then attempted to make a tackle too early. And CJ Fedorowicz is into the end zone to start this game off very quickly with the score. 3rd and 10, and a ridiculous catch by George Connor. Absolutely clutch. 1st and 10, it's the pass to TJ Gibbs. Really enjoying TJ Gibbs recently, making a lot of plays. 3rd and 8, 22-yard line. It's a lofted pass up there, and Judas Smith-Schuster, he was asked a lot and he couldn't quite do it, so we settled for 3, and we have the ball back here again. Van Dyke going real deep now for George Connor, completely open. Kevin Johnson can't keep up with him. 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line, and Ashley Stokes making a ridiculous catch at the sideline at the 1-yard line. Play action. Van Dyke gets out of that one, but then gets sacked. He just couldn't do enough there, and, you know, it would have been nice if he got rid of that ball and scored a touchdown, but to get out of 1 sack is good. Then 2 guys coming in, it's almost impossible. 2nd and 11, and it's pressure again, and Jadeveon Clowney brings him down. 1st and 10, it's a handoff to Trayvon Bromley. We need to take some of this pressure off us, and we can do that using the run game. 1st and 10, and it's a play action. Van Dyke can roll out to the right, but he's under a lot of pressure, but does manage to get it out to Nate Palmer, the fullback there, who gets the 1st down. 3rd and 17, though, and it's a screenplay we're going to try and catch him out with. Tariq Cohen, he's got some space, but it's just not enough, and he loses the ball as he gets hit there. We do recover that, though. But 2nd and 10 after settling for another field goal, and the Texans not doing anything on offense at the moment. Van Dyke decides to roll himself, gets away from that defender. We don't see him do that too often, but don't forget he is very agile, loses the ball out of bounds. That's not a problem. Trayvon Bromley now with a big run. Trayvon Bromley's got a chance here if he can make one man miss. He can't. He gets pushed out of bounds at the 9-yard line. 3rd and goal at the 8-yard line. Oh, look at that. It's a quick slant with George Connor. We go for a 2-point conversion here, but Kurt Weeks cannot hold on to the ball. Had it in his hands, but then just loses it as he gets hit. 1st and 10. That's CJ Fedorowicz unable to make a catch as Rashad Peters, the tight end killer, breaks it up. Now 3rd and 8, and they're looking for DeAndre Hopkins, who catches it, but catches it short of the 1st down marker. 2nd and 11. Van Dyke rolls out to avoid the pressure, manages to get this to Jakeem Grant, who makes one man miss, cuts it upfield, goes over the 50-yard line, over the 55, gets knocked out of bounds. 2nd and 10 at the 45-yard line. And it's a completion there to George Connor. Who else would you expect at this point? I say this. Who else? There's 2 guys. Rashad Peters, George Connor. If I say something happens, it's them. And there's a sack. We lose the ball. JJ Watt picks it up. We weren't able to recover it. The Texans have the ball now. The score, 15-13. They go deep downfield. Marlon Humphrey breaks that up, but could have also had an interception there. But a good job against DeAndre Hopkins. 1st and 10. They get a 1st down on that play. It's 3rd and 4. Can we stop them? We can, but they still will get a lead here as they go up 16-15. Rashad Peters with another play. 2 guys we got on this team that we can absolutely trust almost on every play. And to be fair, TJ Gibbs established himself as another guy we can trust. See that catch he made in heavy traffic. Van Dyke, no chance there. JJ Watt all over it. Didn't bite on play action. Rollout doesn't work. And, well, that was just a forced pass. Really, it was a little misthrown, but it was just completely
wrongly thrown at the wrong time. 3rd and 16, trying to make a first down when we should just be looking to give ourselves good field position. And we throw a pick six. That doesn't help at all. 23-15 the score. 3 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Completion to George Connor. You know, when we're in this kind of situation, it's George Connor time. And there he goes. Bomb downfield to George Connor for the catch. Tackled at the 14-yard line. 2nd and 11. It's a handoff to Ashley Stokes. Ashley Stokes has a chance here. Pushed out at the 3-yard line. 1st and goal. Quick slant to George Connor. You know it. We can all call it at this point, but you just can't stop it. He's too fast. He's too good. His release is too quick. 2-point conversion we go for again. We don't get it. The pressure is just too fast from the Texans here. 3rd and 7. 1 minute 38 left and we stop them. We've got 48 seconds left. We let the time roll down on that one, so we've got a timeout for a field goal if we need it. 1st and 10 now, going deep again for George Connor. George Connor with the catch. George Connor tackled at the 10-yard line, and now the Texans are taking the timeouts. Handoff there to Ashley Stokes, just like the last time. This time, looking to get a touchdown again. Taken down at the 4-yard line rather than the 3-yard line this time. Jaquan Barber through the middle. No one could stop him. He's in for the touchdown. We leave the Texans with 30 seconds. We don't get the 2-point conversion. Again, Kurt Weeks can't hold on to it. 3rd and 3. 14 seconds left. Deshaun Watson pushing it downfield, and it's picked off by Marlon Humphrey. He's got so many interceptions at this point in the last few games. Marlon Humphrey may just take this all the way, to be honest. It's not just an interception. It's a touchdown. That'll close this game at 34-23 with 3 seconds left. It looked close, and in the end, it ends up being quite a big margin, but of course, it was still quite a close game. But this defense stepped up exactly when it needed to. And Marlon Humphrey gets himself a return touchdown there, which he can be proud of. It's a great play to take it all the way back, right when the Texans thought maybe they had a chance. It's heartbreak, and we get a touchdown. It was intended for DeAndre Hopkins, but Humphrey was just there. Jacobs could have broken it up, and we win the game.
No game is out of reach when you've got George Connor on your team. Philip Vendiak knows that. 324 yards, 70% completion percentage, 2 touchdowns. He did throw 1 interception, but of course it doesn't end up mattering. Rushing, Trayvon Bromley did okay, actually. 13 attempts, 61 yards. That's not too bad. Ashley Stokes had success on the end arounds. George Connor did not on 2 attempts. Just, I think the second time we tried him, he was absolutely worn out. We hit him after he hit a long catch. But receiving, there he was. 10 receptions. 10 receptions is already a lot. 224 yards. I'm pretty sure he's going to break the record for most 200-yard games in a career. I don't know how many it is, but it's probably more than the next best. 2 touchdowns. Well, of course, it's more than the next best. I think it's more than the current best is what I meant to say. 2 touchdowns as well. TJ Gibbs made a very difficult catch, and that's why we wanted a guy like that to make those catches. Tariq Cohen did okay. Jakeem Grant had 1 nice catch. And then a little bit of spread out, you know. Juju Smith-Schuster not really making much of a difference, which is a shame. But he still makes plays when he needs to. He just very regularly doesn't need to. Look who's leading the team in tackles. It's Rashad Peters. Not because, well, actually, the safety did need to make a lot of plays, but mainly just because he's the best and he makes those tackles regardless. And the fact he gets sacks shows that. The only player on the team with a sack this week was our free safety. We got an interception, of course, by Marlon Humphrey, who took it back to the house. Nice way to finish off that game. Wasn't necessary to help us win, but of course, well, actually, you know what? That turnover still did kind of win the game for us. They did have 30 seconds. Who knows if they would have caught that? Could have been a very different game, but they didn't. Full stop. Marlon Humphrey didn't win that game for us. You know, Jaquan Barber ran it in for us, but really it was George Connor's heroics. But it's a very good play, and it's nice that he was able to take it into the end zone. So that does it. A player's regressed. Why is that? The player shouldn't have... Oh, we got sacked a lot. Matt Filer allowed those sacks. That is... You know, we try and improve him, and we get enough XP to knock up his pass blocking a couple of notches every now and then. And he is currently, you know, in form, so I don't know what you would call that, actually. He's got confidence, there we go. So, I don't know if that means he may end up on the in the Pro Bowl, but if he does, that'll really help us, and we'll make him a decent tackle. If he doesn't, probably doubt it. Nisley had a tough job today as well, but he had to, you know, they both had to go up against extremely good players. It is tough, but you still expect better. And everyone else kind of made up for it, even though I think we allowed 8 or 9 sacks in that game. Still got it done, and this is down to this team, and there's a whole unit. There's just players everywhere. You don't mind where they try and go on offense because we've got defenders that make plays everywhere, and we don't mind, you know, what happens on their defensive side because we've got playmakers everywhere. It's just a great team right now, and it's, you know, we did take a loss again against a divisional opponent, but we've got 4 games left. And we are in cruise control at this point. We're just coasting towards the playoffs, coasting towards a first round bye, which we may have already locked up at this point. I don't know what the rest of the league looks like, but
We just need to win a couple more games, and I'm pretty sure that's secure. Actually, I do know what the rest of the league looks like. We've looked at that, and it's not that close. Obviously, I don't think we've secured anything yet, but we're looking like we're in pole... Well, we are in pole position for that. I need to stop talking. See you for the next episode.